your happiness. Find your happiness. Find your happiness.
Hey everybody, it's Uncle B from Unclebsays, and this is the Happiness from Within tour with Mike B and Uncle B. Mike B, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, Billy. What's happening?
And we have a special guest today. Nancy is here, everybody. Nancy is with us. Nancy is Mike's wife. How's it going, Nancy?
Good, very good. Thank you. Happy
Excuse me?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, which brings us to Happy New Year, new you, blah, blah, blah. Let's diet our butts off, literally. Let's exercise. And we just did a segment on this the other day. And then as Mike was telling me that you actually did a presentation on diets, and I was like, bring her on the show because, dieting, people feeling better about themselves, that all ties into happiness from within. But you're not very happy if you're only allowed to eat celery sticks. So true.
Yeah.
And so he was telling me you were at a conference. Is that right, Mike?
Yep. So she's been exercising obviously for well, not obviously, but for many moons. And a handful of years back, she got involved with a veteran.
Wait, many moons?
Many moons. We'll get to that a little bit later. We'll play get.
She may get to that a little bit later.
But anyway, she had the fortunate opportunity to be on the board of directors for a veterans group through the Physician's Assistant Conference. It's a veterans caucus. And while she was trying to get some speakers together, time crunch, when the speakers had to drop out, she decided, okay, I'm going to take the ball and run. Decided to try to put something together just to make the whole program work and have a speaker. So started asking around, did her thing, and went off really well, quite honestly. And here you are asking her about it because she thinks
I want to hear. So with all that being said, I am so excited about it because Shannon and I, we diet. And we've had great success with the diet. And I'm not going to mention the diet because I don't want to do that, but we got great success. But it's not sustainable, even though they say it is sustainable. And there are many people that have done that. For us, it's not sustainable because there are things that we like to eat that are not on this diet. And you cannot continue, constantly with packaged food. I want to be able to go to the grocery store and get food. I want to be able to cook right. But not all diets fit. It's not a one size fit all. And from what I understand, that's what you talk about. That's what you're talking about.
Right. A lot of people, they'll go to their doctor and a doctor will say, okay, you have to lose 20 pounds. Here's this diet, follow it. And they're like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then they get home and they're like, well, I don't like this and I'm not going to eat this and blah, and it just goes, within a couple of days, they're like, I just can't do this. And the same thing with exercise, they're like, I want to lose weight here or I want to get in shape, so someone will say, oh, well, you really need to take this class or you need to do this type of exercise. And so they do it and they're just not liking it. And the thing is, you can't treat people like a textbook because because it says in the textbook that, A, B, C, and D is what you need to do. Sometimes it's E, F, and G. I mean, it's not, everyone is an individual. And just like everybody is an individual, all bodies, most people don't realize this. Your genetics play a huge part in this. And certain bodies are not going to process food the way other bodies are. So you really have to take a step back and start playing with things and just, see what really works for you. Eventually, it's going to come down to, foods you like, foods you hate, foods you'll never eat, but, you eventually figure it out. And then things finally start to click. And the same thing happens along with exercise too. It can be the most popular exercise program on the world, but if you're not going to do it, what good is the exercise?
And that's true. Like in my case, I used to go to the gym constantly. I got an injury. I didn't go to the gym for a long time, and coming back from an injury is tough. But when I went back to the gym, I didn't have the same
Oomph.
Yeah, oomph and same commitment. And then that's when the walking started to come in, the walking videos, where the commitment was easy. It was something I could do. I didn't even have to leave the house for it, and I could be consistent. And the
Right.
consistent part is what it is. So I found something totally different than what I'm used to. You know, I was on the, you know, I don't know, Mike, on how you lift, but I was, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday were lifting days. Tuesdays and Thursdays were cardios, and that was how I lifted, and it was consistent. I couldn't get back into that after the injury, and now these walking videos are helping me stay consistent just with exercising again. But the diet part is so hard.
It is.
You've been on the diet with ice cream on it, have you?
No, unfortunately, I do have the diet with ice cream on it. I said I have the body
Yes.
of he exercises and lifts weights,
Yes.
but you also know he never says no to a cookie.
And the thing is, that's good. That is fine. But you have to realize that a serving of ice cream is not a pint.
See?
A serving of ice cream is a quarter cup. I mean, it's very small. And
Wait, what? Say that again? Well,
a serving of ice cream is not a pint of ice cream like my husband tends to think so. A true serving of ice cream is a quarter cup of ice cream. I mean,
Really?
so you really have to pay attention to serving sizes.
I will be
But
right
you
back.
can-
So, do you believe that if you would look at serving sizes on anything, and I mean anything, Oreos, you know, steak, rice, pasta, if you would look at serving sizes, do you believe that just by taking true serving sizes, not only would you maintain your weight, but you might lose?
Yes. If you would read the nutrition labels on the back of on the food that you buy, and if you read what's in it, truly read what's in it, because it goes from the highest to the lowest, read that, and if you stick to serving sizes, yeah, you would be in much better shape. I mean, you can maintain your weight, you could lose weight. I mean,
Okay, so listen, I am not telling anybody that's watching this. I am not a nutritionist. You're not. Are you a nutritionist?
I'm actually a registered nurse and a physician assistant.
Okay, so you're not a nutritionist either.
No.
So we are not, we're not telling you to go get your doctor. You know, this is our big disclaimer here. This is something that we are talking about us doing, okay? And if you want to join along, you check with your doctor. But definitely check with your doctor. But this is the new year, new you. I don't like that new year, new you. I like me. I just want to be comfortable and I want to feel healthy, right? That's what I want. And, and I want to be able to fit in my clothes. I don't want to have to buy bigger clothes, right? And you know, it's just the way it is. I mean, on the vanity side of it, yeah, there's some vanity side of it. But I really want to try this, and I'm glad that you're here. So if you just do the serving sizes and you eat that, you would not have to deprive yourself of things.
No. I mean, I do my Fitness Pal, which counts calories, it counts exercise. So I'm very aware of what I'm doing. I mean, I allow myself 2 Hershey Kisses a day, one after lunch, one after dinner, and I'm fine with that. You know, I don't go the whole serving size on that, but yeah. I mean,
so you allow yourself 2 serving sizes.
You know, if I wanted ice cream, I would do the quarter cup.
But so then you don't eat ice cream every day, but when you want ice cream, you don't deprive yourself.
No, I don't. No. I really don't deprive myself of anything, but the way I eat, and I actually did have this cleared with my doctors, I'm pretty strict on how many calories I take for the most part, say Sunday through Friday. Okay. And, you know, and I tend to carb load on Saturdays, you know, maybe a little bit on Friday, but I do extremely low carb because my body doesn't process carbs the way a normal person does. It just doesn't do it.
So here's what you're saying. Different diets are for different people.
Yeah.
Based on how their body processes.
The only reason I found that out is I had genetic testing that proved that my body did not process carbs at the way like his body does. I mean, his body processes carbs great. Mine does not. And mine processes carbs a little bit, fats a little bit better than it does carbs. But it processes protein very well. So I tend to really stick to high protein and very low carb. And my doctor was fine with that. And if I carb load on the weekend or a Saturday, that's fine.
Now, when you said something before, and I want to make sure everybody hears about this because I have the app also, and I do love the app, MyFitnessPal. And there's no charge for MyFitnessPal, right? I mean, I don't think there is.
You can do a premium edition, which I think is $9.99 a month, but I don't see the need for it. I'm fine with just the free edition.
And basically, MyFitnessPal. So for those of you who don't know, and you elaborate, you would log everything that you eat, and it would tell you your calories, and so you know your calories that you are going to consume for a given day,
right?
And it calculates it for you,
right. I mean, I can tell you 10 grapes is 34 calories.
So
One this is 22 calories. I mean, and he laughs at me every single time.
Why do you laugh?
I eat.
Because I will try to sneak in one more grape when she turns her back.
And I'm like, no.
Does she have you on MyFitnessPal too?
No, he couldn't do it.
I mean, I have it on my phone, but I figure if she has it, why should I have it?
He tried for a day, for one day, and he couldn't do it.
You know, it's so funny because I tell Shannon, no matter what diet we do, I'm doing the same thing she is because she cooks. She's the cook.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to do what she does. And so in your belief then, in what you found, and we're going to go through this in a minute, you have some slides. Is it truly calories in, calories out? I mean, is it, you know, everybody's like, it's very logical. It's how much you take in and how much you expel. That's it. Like anything extra is going to be fat.
It all depends. It is true, but a lot of it depends on the type of calories you're putting into your body. Because like I said, my body, if I were putting in more carbs in my body, I would gain it. If 1,000 calories, and if I have 900 of them are carbs, I'm going to gain weight. But if I do 1,000 calories and the majority of it is protein, more than likely I'm not going to gain weight. I mean, just because, like I said, my body doesn't process carbs the way yours does, my husband's does. I mean, and that's just a fact. So it truly depends on the type of calorie you are putting in your body.
Would your body process carbs more if you exercised more?
I exercise. I figured it out because I exercise close to 10 hours a week because I do strength training 7 days a week. And then I come home and do cardio 7 days a week. So it all figures out to pretty much close to 10 hours a week. And if I were doing carb heavy, I would still gain weight. Yes.
So I believe that. That's why I asked that question, because I think people take someone who is overweight and says, well, if you did more cardio or you did, I'm not talking instruction. I'm not talking people that know. I'm talking friends and family. If you did more, you wouldn't. You know, why don't you do some more? Why don't you, like, I think they make them feel bad as if they're not working out enough, when really you're saying, in what you found, the working out has nothing to do with the processing of the types of calories you're taking in.
Well, the working out definitely helps, but really, if you're going to eat pizza, pepperoni pizza all day, I don't care if you're exercising for 2 hours of the day, you're still going to put on the weight, you know,
right?
Unless you're a 12-year-old boy and your metabolism is just flying.
Correct. Yeah. And okay. All right.
You know,
so
one of the things, and there again, just with her and her carb portion, there's percentages that are recommended as far as proteins, carbs, fats. I can follow that, meaning I can eat those certain percentages. And there again, depending if you want to gain muscle or lose muscle, you know, whatever, you pump up certain things. Nancy, on the other hand, she already knows that she can't do those percentages of
No.
proteins and carbs.
Mm-mm.
No.
Where I can eat carbs, I can eat carbs a lot easier. And if I don't, I get tired. I get exhausted. Where she's so focused and functionable with how she eats.
So
I
you're
eat
burning
probably
off.
less than 100 grams of carbs a day. 100 less than 100 a day, which I've been told you can't function, you can't live off of that, you shouldn't be able to work. And but it works for me. It really works for me.
Which brings it back to it's everybody's body.
Yeah.
It's your body type.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you started to do the research for this, and let's go to it. Do you mind if we go to the slides and you tell us about them?
Go ahead. Yep.
All right. So I like this diet and exercise, not one size fits all,
Right.
and that's kind of what
Yep.
we just talked about. You know, it's not one size fits all.
I said real people in the real world, you know, not a textbook.
Right. So now you have helpful hints. You want to go through them?
Sure. Yep.
No, you go through them.
Not me.
Okay.
Okay. So first slide it talks about helpful hints to getting started. So tell us about it.
The hardest part of any, whether it's a diet, whether it's a meal plan, an exercise program, is just taking the first step. You need to have some kind of motivation, whether it's you want to change how you look, you want to change how you feel, you want to, be more active if you have kids. The hardest part is really just taking that first step and getting started. So you're afraid to walk in the gym, then maybe you just walk around your neighborhood. Just you're not going to be, you're expected to be Arnold Schwarzenegger in the gym on the first day.
Right.
The hardest part is just getting started. You set yourself a simple goal, like, okay, maybe I'm just going to get out of bed an hour earlier and just walk around my house a little bit, for 15 minutes, or walk around the block. And then
or do a walk with Uncle B.
There you go.
15 minutes.
There you go. But just getting started, just doing something simple, you don't have to go balls to the walls, but just get started and, gradually build up on that.
Right. And then what's the next thing? So staying on track, basically.
Pardon?
So next, staying on track.
Staying on track is consistency is the key to anything, whether it's in your job, whether it's in your meal plan, whether it's in your workout program. Consistent. You'd want to do anything to make your life easier. If it's laying out your clothes the night before so that in the morning you can just jump into them, because then it's like, okay, I'm dressed, I'm ready to go. Or okay, people actually schedule, I am going to work out from 5:30 to 6 o'clock or whatever. Consistency is key to anything.
And sticking with it.
Human, you're not going to be 100% perfect. And you have to accept that. You're going to fall off the horse. It's going to happen. Someone's going to get married or have a birthday, and you're going to have the cake and extra icing, and that's okay. But then the next day it's like, bam, you buckle down and you're
back to
dealing with life in real time.
Yes.
But illness, surgery, vacations, and just daily life. Everybody has a life, and unfortunately things happen to you during that life. Whether you get sick, I just got over a 3-week bout of bronchitis and pneumonia. So, and I had a sick dog prior, I had a conference prior. So I literally missed the gym for 2 months, but I did cardio at home.
Okay.
I did until I was too sick to do that. And so I'm just gradually getting back into it, but it's not like I said, oh, well, it's over, it's done. I'm not going to ever do that again.
I think so many people do that. So many people have that one setback and you're like, oh,
yeah,
all that work for nothing. The work wasn't for nothing. It's still there. The progress is still there.
Right. And you have to accept that things are going to happen. I've had shoulder surgeries, multiple, and a lot of times I was in the gym the next day, not doing shoulders, but I found something else to do. A lot of that.
So not so much you, in your particular case, it's to make the gym, that's your priority. You're
I
saying
enjoy,
just whatever you find out there, everybody, whatever you find, whatever it is, make
right,
it the priority and stay consistent with it.
right. And I'm not, like I was at another conference that I was dealing with in Mexico in December. And did I eat? Yes. Did I drink? Yes. Did I have a good time? Yes.
Yes.
When I came home, it's like right away I snapped back right into my meal plan and how I eat. Because, why would I deny myself? The most of the stuff that you gain on weight on vacation anyway is fluid retention from carbs.
Right.
Know that, and within a week or two, you're going to eliminate it. So, but
Exactly.
it can be done. You have you can't live your life in a bubble, and life will go on. And so
No,
these are
and so many diets do that. They're putting you in a bubble that you can't sustain.
right, right.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you have like, and now I'm talking that people just want to be healthy and everything. I mean, if you have an extreme condition like renal failure or something along that line, that's a little bit different. But that's not what we're talking about today.
No, we're talking about just general well-being, general
Right.
health, general daily life, making habits work. And that's
Right.
actually the next slide is
Right.
what is a habit?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not something that a nun wears, but it is. A habit is just something that you do routinely, and you just get into this habit. And both in regards to diet or having a meal plan and exercise, the two of the strongest components are habit and mindset. And for the most part, that really determines how we act and how we live our lives, is what our mindset is. Now, like I said earlier, I've had surgeries and I'm in the gym the next day because that's my mindset. If just because this hurt, that doesn't mean that I don't have another body part that I can't use or something. Your habits and your mindset will greatly influence how you react to both changing how you developing new lifestyles. Basically, a habit, it's a recurrent, pretty much unconscious pattern of behavior that you do through frequent repetition. Like you're biting your nails or playing with your cuticles, twirling your hair when you're nervous or something. And it's just an established pattern that is basically for you. And it's, just part of your character. And it's just a customary manner of practice.
So you're saying take the nutritional and the exercise and make that part of your daily habits.
Right. Right. And the thing is,
It sounds so simple, and it really is very simple.
It is. And the thing is, a lot of people think that, whether it's your meal plan, whether it's your exercise, you have to go 100% on day one. And a lot of this is just taking baby steps, just small steps, and then just keep building on your progress and just building on it till it does become a habit. If you want to change how you eat, like I said, on day one, it's not like you're going to throw out the sugar, you're going to throw out the cookies, you're going to throw out the ice cream and everything. You really want to try to limit it to like one thing at a time that you focus on. Trying to deal with both diet and exercise, on January 1st or January 2nd, you're going to be done by January 7th. You gradually
want to. It's the truth, though.
Things.
Isn't that the National Quitting Day for resolutions?
What is it?
Yeah.
This is another one of those silly things I heard the other day. Was you have your New Year's resolution, and then you have National Quitting Resolution Day. I believe it's January 7th.
Something.
What?
Yeah.
I just heard that the other day. Yeah, it's a real day. So they say.
I mean, a lot of things people can really do, and this is going to sound so stupid. A lot of things people can do to just get them started. Start drinking water. Start drinking a lot of water. Say for the first week, you're supposed to drink X amount of ounces per your body weight, 1 ounce per your body weight, or at least 2 liters. Most people don't drink a lot of water.
No.
And the fact that they don't is actually causes a slight case of dehydration, which they actually confuse as hunger. When you're not really hungry, your body is basically dehydrated. So if people would drink more water more consistently on a daily basis, there's a good chance they would not be experiencing hunger throughout the day. Because a lot of time it is just saying, your body's saying, I need some fluids.
Wow, I didn't realize that. I didn't know that. Now, when you're saying the habits, because the habits, and because your next slide is about the mindset.
Right. Yeah.
Is
A
that-
mindset. Yeah, most people don't think about mindset, but in reality, it's just a collection of things that you believe and things you may have been taught, things whether you believe them or not, whether it's conscious or unconscious, and that really influences how you react or act in response to something. Because of the way I think, I tend to approach a situation. I try and be very positive about everything. I have a relative who's extremely negative on everything, and he knows who I'm talking about.
Not
But,
me.
But the thing is, my mindset, like I said, I've had multiple shoulder surgeries. I've had multiple foot surgeries. And I never think, oh, wow, woe is me. My think is, okay, so it's like PennDOT, it's going to be, I'm going to be temporary inconvenience for an improvement.
Right.
So I may be down for 6 weeks in regards to doing this, that, or whatever, but come after that, I'm going to be much better. And that's my mindset,
Right.
And a lot of people don't realize that. And also in regards to a mindset, it's like the inclination of a habit. So they kind of like interweave together. One influences the other influences, habits will influence mindset, and mindset will influence
So they
habit.
go hand in hand.
Yeah. Yeah. And
in the mindset, Mike, it goes back to happiness from within.
Absolutely.
oh yeah.
Mindset. Have
Yeah.
to have a positive attitude.
Yeah.
Is that positive attitude?
It makes a difference. If you're going to say, oh, my doctor wants me to lose weight, I have to eat lettuce. If you're going to have that attitude, you just set yourself up for failure.
Absolutely.
Or if I have to go to the gym, I'm going to absolutely hate, you can't, you're shooting yourself in the foot, and you might as well just stay on the couch and eat the Doritos. Because, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
No. You have to want the change.
Yeah, you do.
You have to
Just like anything, whether, it's smoking, eating, drugs, whatever, you have to want it, and you have to want it for you.
Right.
Not because, Dr. Smith says I have to lose weight.
Right.
You have to want it. You have to, when they say you have to be the change, you do have to be the change.
So the next section is diets, which is best. So now, we talked about that. We talked about the habits. We talked about the mindset. We know we want to make the change. Now, this is where so many people are right now.
Yes.
And they pick this diet. I'm going to do this. It's January 1st, blah, blah, blah. But they maybe picked the wrong one for them. So how do you know? How do you pick? Is it trial and error? Let me hear what you got to say.
A lot of this is trial and error. Right now, the TVs are being flooded. I mean, Jenny Craig, they're no longer in the stores, but they're now online. You see Marie Osmond with Nutrisystem. There's been a explosion of home delivery services where you literally just get the box, stick it in your refrigerator, and or the Tavala where you just put the meal in, you scan the meal and everything. There's also old standbys like Atkins, South Beach, Mediterranean, low carb, high protein. Golo gets a big push on TV, and that's mainly geared towards insulin resistance, a certain body type. Basically, Golo is just a plant in the mineral-based what do you call that? Supplement.
Oh, spit it out.
There's also Noom, which is an app for your phone, and that's psychologically based as to try to get into the reasons why you're overeating or why you're eating this, that, or whatever, trying to get to the root of it. Intermittent fasting has been having a big moment. A lot of people have a lot of good results with that. A lot of people don't. but it can also have issues. The one that I follow, which he inadvertently sometimes follows, is clean eating. um,
I
in
thought
regard to
Okay, so wait, clean eating, is it an actual diet or is it something you've come up with?
no, it's actually it was explained to me by a trainer that I worked out with years ago. And I actually combine clean eating with low carb, high protein. Basically, what clean eating is I like to cook. I don't have a problem with it. So I basically cook 6 out of the 7 days a week. Everything from scratch, nothing from a box. I mean, no pre-made, nothing, anything. I like to pick and choose what goes into what I eat.
Okay, I'm
And
sorry, just stopping you.
okay.
Shannon so believes in this.
Mhm.
This, what you're saying right now. So please tell me about clean eating and what you do and how you incorporate that in the diet because I don't like the box stuff. I
No.
don't like the processed stuff that comes. I don't. It works. It does work, but
Mhm.
I would tell me about clean eating. Go.
Clean eating, you are basically making everything from scratch. You're very careful, you're very selective about what you eat. We usually don't do anything like with white bread, the white pastas, no sugar. I try to eliminate sugars, but no added sugars, no pre-made meals. If it come canned vegetables for like chili or something like that.
Right.
But for the most part, you limit the amount of sodium, and it's basically good, healthy food. Now,
Why
that
no
doesn't mean
white? Why no white? Like, come on, you're talking to the wrong person here. Why no white?
no white bread, white pasta. What they will do is they tend to, at least, especially even white potatoes. What they do is they elicit a higher glycemic response in your body. So your body is going to secrete more insulin, and that kind of like drives your hunger and everything. So what we usually do is if we have potatoes, I mean, like I measure mine, he just eats, but we have red skin potatoes because it's a lower glycemic potato.
Red skin.
So it's not going to cause that huge insulin spike that your basic Idaho potato is going to cause. Also,
nothing
in regard
against
to like
Idaho either.
Wait, would you say, Mike, you have to talk louder. Would you say?
That's nothing against Idaho. She's not trying to be mean to Idaho at all.
Okay.
no
Okay.
Idaho, but like today I did have spaghetti. When I make spaghetti or any type of pasta, it's whole wheat or it's chickpea or whole grain like that. Anything, but it's rarely ever white unless I'm making lasagna and then I'm splurging. And because the whole wheat pasta, it's a little different flavor. It's kind of a nuttier. I mean, but after one or two times, it's fine. You don't really notice it.
That's it.
But it also elicits a lower glycemic response, and it's also healthier for you.
So when we were talking, I'm sure before about serving sizes, does the serving size then matter? Like, so can I have the white pasta, but I'm just going to watch the serving size?
You can have it. I mean, I wouldn't do it every day because, like I said, lasagna noodles only come in they only come in the normal white thing. But I still, even with the whole wheat pasta, I do the serving size. If I did have the spaghetti, like we were out the other night and we had gnocchi. I mean, I ate it. Not a lot of them, but I did.
Counted out 10. 10
Yeah.
numbers. That's it. 10.
She counted out 10?
Yeah, probably.
She's being a jerk.
It's not something I would do on a daily basis if you're going to do the white. I mean, yeah.
You gotta continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that struck a nerve. I'm like, wait a minute, I like Italian bread and I like white pasta, but I do like a rye bread too. So I mean, I don't always eat so I'll eat rye. I'm not so much a wheat person though. I heard
I'm not a real bread person. I've gotten away from it, but when we do have, I weigh it out.
I weigh it out.
I
You have
do.
your serving size.
Yeah, I mean, I weigh it out, so it comes out to like 0.56 ounces or something that I'm eating, and that's fine. all in my case, all I really want is the taste. I just want to have the taste of it. I don't want to have like a whole plate of it.
Which
If that
goes to moderation. So you can
right,
have a taste of this, you can have a
right,
little bit of this, you
right.
just can't have the whole cake or the
No,
whole loaf of bread.
right,
Right.
right.
Okay,
Hmm.
so back to the clean eating. So you're talking clean grains, clean vegetables then. And
Hmm.
what about the meats and things that you're doing?
We still do red meat and pork and chicken and everything. Yeah,
Okay. And it's just watching portion sizes.
right. Hmm. Right.
So would this be a diet that people would lose weight on?
Oh yeah. And the thing is, you also try to limit how you're preparing the food. Like you're not going to be deep frying. You're not going to be cooking in a lot of oil. You're not going to be cooking in bacon, grease, and fat. I
Right,
mean,
right.
a lot of breading. I've found that you can use breading, but I'm very stingy kind of on how I do it. But I found that a little bit will go a long way.
In the
Uh,
breading.
in the breading or anything. A lot of the recipes that I make, they'll call for like 3 cups of cheese or something. And I totally eliminate that. I put in just enough, to keep it together, so that you get the flavor of it, you get the taste of it. But you don't need 3 cups of cheese in a recipe. All you're doing is adding the extra fat. There
And
you
the
can
extra calories.
right. So you can have cheese, and like I said, it's all portion size. You're still getting the taste of it, but you're not getting all the extra calories and the extra fat. So you can do it. I mean,
And it's sustainable.
right. Oh yeah, it is. It
And you're
is.
not eating out of a box.
No,
So out
no.
of all the diets, what is this one now? What is this?
Clean eating.
Is it a diet book? Is there a book on it, or is it just something
There
you've
are books
acquired?
about it. There actually are, if you go to the bookstores, you will find books on how to do clean eating. Yeah.
We
And you can,
do we do something called What's Cooking with Shannon, where Shannon will cook clean,
uh-huh.
and she'll show those recipes compared to, like, she'll make a chicken crust pizza. So it's pizza, but it's actually chicken crust.
Mm.
And the way she does it, you can't tell
Hmm.
because of the cheese and the chicken, the way she puts it together. Um,
I've actually made chickens out of like very thin breasted chickens and then put the pizza sauce on top, and peppers, and a little bit of cheese. And yeah, there are a lot of things that can be done and it really doesn't take that much more time. You just have to put a little thought into it ahead of time.
right. On the which is best, you have you listed all of them,
Yeah.
and you're saying throw them all out, just do clean eating.
That's what I like. You're going to go to a doctor and you're going to say, so, what's the best diet? And the doctor's going to say, oh, Mediterranean. That is the best diet out there. And every year, they always do a survey, GMA or whatever morning show, they come up and yes, that's always the #1 rated diet. And there are very good reasons why the Mediterranean diet is healthy, because it's very good. It promotes great heart health, promotes very good blood sugar levels, and it protects your brain function. However,
Uh-oh.
uh, okay, but and supposedly it's very easy to follow. And what you get to eat vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, legumes, potatoes, whole grains, herbs, spices, fish, seafood, and extra virgin olive oil. You get to eat in moderation poultry, eggs, cheese, yogurt, and rarely red meat, sugar sweetened drinks, added sugar, processed meat, refined grains, refined oils, and other highly processed food. Okay.
I love Mediterranean food, and every time I mention,
Ah.
and just health wise for myself, she said, "Are you going to start eating fish?" I don't eat fish.
Right. I remember that
No
from the
way that I could even remotely swap fish for a good steak because it's defeating the Mediterranean purpose.
So
Right.
yeah, to the Mediterranean diet.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
but
can do
so
all the vegetables and all that other good stuff, but I can't eat fish. Just
yeah,
like
okay. Like then you're saying, okay, so what's the problem with the Mediterranean diet? And this is just not the Mediterranean diet. This and is to any meal plan out there, whether it's Atkins, South Beach, whatever. Um, Not everyone likes the food on the diet, and so they're not going to follow it. And all bodies tend to process food differently. And like I said, you couldn't pay me to eat a bean or a legume or anything. And it's like, are you kidding me? I'm not giving up red meat. I love steak too much. I love it. And it's like, what? I'm not yogurt. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So right away, I'm not going to do it. So I know that it's not going to work for me. And a lot of people within like the first 7 days, they just say, oh, no, I'm over and done with it. And a large part of it is because people don't like the food. The food is either they feel like they're being deprived or it's too restrictive. You can never, ever have pizza again. You can never have potato chips again. And the other thing is, too, is people will be like, I've been really following this for this whole week and nothing's happened. Well, you don't realize that it took you 20 years to get into this position.
Yeah. Yes.
It's not going to fall off in 10 minutes. I mean,
No,
it didn't overnight and it's not going to leave overnight.
So, but to that case in point, and I know you already said it, but I want to bring it up again. It takes so long to lose the weight. Like you're talking weeks of a pound, a pound, a pound. And that's if you're lucky, a pound a week. But you could take from Thanksgiving to New Year's and you've gained 10 pounds.
Oh, easily.
Like, why is that? Why is it so easy to put on? It should be just as easy to take off. And I cannot understand that.
Because basically from Thanksgiving to New Year's, you're having a lot of family dinners, you're having company parties, you're going out, you're seeing old friends. So the whole time for those basically 6 weeks, all you're doing is like eating all this rich, wonderful, sweet cookies and cakes and pies and drinks. Oh, yes, nice frothy drinks. And that's basically all you're doing. And it's like, oh, I have a headache this morning. I can't go to the gym, or, oh, no, I can't go to this, to the gym after work because I have to get to this party. And your diet and exercise for a lot of people tends to fall by the wayside. And like I said, it's very tempting around Christmas. And, heck, Thanksgiving, I'll have a piece of pumpkin pie and I'll have a piece of pecan pie. The next morning I'm at the gym,
Right.
and that's just how I think. Did I eat cookies at Christmas? Yeah. Did I bake cookies that were like sinfully delicious? Yeah. But I gave 99% of them away.
that of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's so funny because Shannon was making cookies here in Florida, and I had to go back to Pittsburgh. I was going to sing at the bakery and do some things. And while she was baking and I was here, I'm eating them as fast as they're coming out. I'm just, peanut butter blossoms were going down. So when I was in Pittsburgh, she's like, I never realized how many cookies a batch of cookies actually made now that you're not here.
I mean, I love to bake. Last year, I actually gave baking up for Lent because I don't really have much else to give up. So I gave up alcohol. Not that I drink a lot. I have 2 drinks a week, but I gave up baking because I love to bake. I just like the physical act of baking. And then I end up giving it away. I mean, I'll leave like 6 for him and then he eats them all. And all I want is a taste. I want like 2 cookies and then that's it. But I just love the act of baking.
So yes, you can do it. You can do, I just want to taste.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't do, I just want to taste. Like I want, if I take the taste, I want the whole thing. Like I want another taste.
How to get rid of them.
And I know, and it goes back to habits and mindset. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Mike?
I said you got to get rid of them. So the best way to get rid of them.
Yeah, the best way to get rid of it is to eat it.
So then it's not there anymore.
But actually, I like the idea of giving it away.
the idea of giving it away is that a lot of people actually really like it. So it's like, oh, fresh baked cookies. And a lot of people don't bake anymore. You know, it gets rid of it for me. It gets it out of my house.
So make it and get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but we did have stuff over the holidays, and it was like right before the New Year's, it's like, okay, we got to get rid of this. So I just started doing stupid stuff and eating. But yeah, you know, but then that was it, and that's gone. So yeah.
So one of the main things I noticed about people is that when they do fall off the wagon or they have that extra cookie, they really beat themselves up bad. And so, you know, what are some tips about that so people don't beat themselves up? Don't beat yourself up, especially in these first weeks especially in the first weeks of getting started.
Right. If you can stick, it takes 6 weeks for a habit to develop. If you can, the first week, you know, like I said, you don't want to just totally cut everything out. If you can eat clean for the first week, like 50 to 80% of the time, or whatever meal plan you're on, if you can follow that, that's pretty good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Right. And if you happen to fall off eat something you're not supposed to, you're human. It's going to happen.
So wait, so everybody hears that. You're saying 50% of the time.
50, if you can do 50% of the time for at least the first week or two, because you just want to make small changes that you're going to be able to live with until they become a habit that will stick with you. You know, like drinking.
I want to repeat it again because I really want everybody to hear that, Mike. I mean, this is so important. 50%. She's saying 50%, not 100%, not I am all in, all or nothing, because that's ridiculous. 50% starts the habit.
Oh, easily. Like I said, just adding water. Just carry a water bottle or keep a glass next to where you are. Do that. That will actually help curb your hunger. And like, you're not going to be eating perfect your first week or two, because what your body has to get used to a different way of eating. And it has to get used to, like I keep saying, when we come back from vacation, I give myself 36 hours for my body to detoxify from the carbs and all the sweets and the sugars and everything that I ate. And so I tend to like carb down. I go a little bit higher carb than normal. And then after 36 hours, then I'm pretty much back to where I should be. But don't beat yourself up. If you can do 50% for the first week or two, that's really good. And it's going to be encouraging you to do a little bit more as the weeks go on. Even if you hit 6 weeks and you're in a pretty good rhythm and you're following your meal plan, pretty good. Even if you're doing 80%, that's good. I mean, that's going to have a huge impact on you.
Right. And I feel like most people feel like they have to be 100% or it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Or they have those people chirping in their ears saying, well, you're not, what are you doing? Why are you eating that? Like, I think you have to ignore everybody around you while you're doing your thing too.
You have to. It's good to let everyone know, hey, I'm starting a new meal plan because I want to lose X amount of weight, or I want to feel better, whatever the reasoning is. But, so that way they can encourage you, but you don't want them saying, you're not allowed to have that cookie, and it's like, okay, so I'm having this cookie now, but, I just was really dying for this cookie. And once I get it out of my system, if that's the deal you're going to make, okay, once you get that cookie out of your system, okay.
Have the cookie. Cookie.
And I know just from personal experience, which a lot of people, if you really, really want something, you go out and you buy the smallest portion possible, like the little snack size that's at the checkout counter. You don't go to Sam's and buy the big gigunda bag of Doritos or whatever it is. You buy the smallest thing possible, and it's like, okay, I am going to absolutely love these 170 calories that I should not be eating. And you enjoy it, and then you're done.
Yeah.
And then you go move on.
I totally agree. I think this is the way. And we're talking about the moderation, but in the beginning of this whole thing, you talked about how you don't process carbohydrates. Maybe I processed. Mike, you make processed carbohydrates, right?
Yes,
More.
absolutely, definitely, yeah.
And you said something about genetic testing. So how does someone go about that? Is it very expensive? And what do you do to find out? Because then once you find out, now it's pretty clear what diet to pick because you found that out.
Right. We were actually on a cruise and I'm on the beach and I'm reading a magazine and it was talking about genetic testing to find what kind of food you should be on. Because I had been working with a trainer and literally you could just see the fat pile on because he had me eating oatmeal 6 times a day. All it was oatmeal 6 times a day. And it just,
Wait, what?
yeah. I mean, that's basically eight oatmeal with protein powder, a half a cup of protein with half a cup of oatmeal with a scoop of protein powder 6 times a day. And the scale kept going up. And I just kept saying, what am I doing wrong? Oh, no, you just keep at it. Just keep at it. So he and I were on vacation and I'm reading a magazine and it was talking about genetic testing. And there's a company called Simplified Genetics. And it's a saliva test, just like all the 23andMe and Ancestry.com. And you send the specimen in. It probably was about $150 or something. So
Okay.
not super cheap, but really in reality, not overly expensive. And basically it came back that my body just doesn't process carbs. Because I was eating the proper, portion for, supposedly to build muscle and lose fat. And now my body just was like, oh, pack the fat on, pack the fat on. And yeah, so it was at that point that I really switched how I ate. And usually it's like between 90 and 100 grams of carbs a day, which
So does it tell you? Does it tell you what?
yeah.
Like it tells you how many carbs of each you should be eating?
No, it doesn't tell you that at all, but it just tells you how your body processes from the worst. My body does not process carbs at all. Well, very poorly. Does fats a little bit better and really does well on protein. So then it would suggest more of a high protein diet, but you do need some carbs in there in
Okay.
order, for muscle function, brain function, things like that. So I'm very particular about the type of carbs that I eat.
So the test comes back with categories: carbs, proteins, fat.
Yeah.
Is there any vitamins and minerals and things like that, Nancy? I can't remember.
Can't remember because that's probably been like 10 years or so. I mean, it's actually been a very long time.
And what was the name of the company again?
Simplified Genetics.
Simplified Genetics, everybody. I'm going to look it up. You look it up too. And to me, some of these diet plans are hundreds and hundreds of dollars a month. 150 to find out what my body needs is not that much.
Yeah. Like I said, it was very eye-opening and it made sense why my trainer was eating, protein and oatmeal 6 times a day. And he looked like that. And I'm doing the same thing. And I looked like this. And it was just like, oh, so that's why.
If I could sort of take a step back, and the trainer that she was talking to, man, this kid was hard as a rock. I mean, shredded.
Really?
He and the program that he had her on was a legitimate computer-based, you enter data, this is what spits out on what the individual should be eating and how they should be doing it. What she was eating, and there again, oatmeal is very good. Protein powder is very good, but the amount of carbs that she was eating wasn't good for her. But like I said, with him, there's a whole bunch of people out there, and there again, look, you look at it any way you want to, but he described the body like a vehicle, like a car, and food was fuel. You
Okay.
had to fuel that vehicle a certain way for it to run. So if you get the super gasoline, it's going to run better than if you get, the gasoline with, that's not as great. But the program, it was a legitimate computer. He plugged some stuff in and it just didn't work for her.
No.
Worked great for him.
No.
I mean,
it was like a cookie cutter?
Yes.
Well, regardless of what it was, It
Yeah,
didn't work.
again, it's depending,
Right.
just like Nancy said, between Atkins or Mediterranean or whatever it might be. That's what worked for him.
So if
And
you are testing different diets to see what is right for you, how long would you suggest? And again, everybody's not a nutritionist, and we're talking just like having a conversation here. So always talk to your doctor. But how long would you say is a good amount of time to stay on something to see, well, it's not working or it is working?
I'd say between 6 and 8 weeks, because for the
That's
first
a
10,
long time.
it is a long time, but you find out if it's going to do anything, you find out if it's not. In the first, no matter whatever type of meal plan you may switch to, more than likely in the first 7 to 10 days, you're probably going to lose weight. However, most of that weight is fluid. You're not losing actual fat. So your body has to readjust to whatever food you're taking in and however you're eating at this time. And so once your body gets used to that, then you have a better idea of if things are going to work for you or if they're not going to work for you.
that's the challenge, at least for me. And there again, certain foods, my body reacts to certain foods differently as well. I mean, there was a time we went on vacation. We were gone, what's a couple of days, Nance? 3, 4 days. I put on 10 pounds. I mean, honest. I mean, literally put on 10 pounds because we eat differently and foods prepared differently when we're away
Oh yeah.
than he prepares things at home.
Right.
So,
Oh yeah.
so I got back. I think I gained about 15 pounds that week, that 10 days we were gone.
I gained 17 at the ranch one year.
That's
Over
yeah, that's what I was talking about. I
17
mean,
pounds.
it was
So
excellent.
because I'm beating myself up right now, so my goal is 185. If I can get down to 185, 175 would be terrific, but 185 would be great. Then it gives me my 5 pound leeway and I'm good. Clothes, everything fits. I'm good. I was at 190. So 190. Like I'm there right before the holidays. I'm at 202.
I'm gonna challenge, and there again, this is just that mental.
202.
Yeah, well, it's holidays.
Yeah, it'll come down.
So
That's but I'm like in shock. I'm like, how is it? I was like an ounce away from 189. I could have like 189.9. It could have been there. It could have been there.
once you stop eating the holiday stuff, and
Yeah.
it'll change.
Yeah.
But once again, and I try to tell Nance, and there again, we're different people. Our bodies are different. The number on the scale doesn't matter. Muscle weighs more than fat,
Yeah.
personally. Secondly, I feel better at a certain weight, but they're again not eating, I can be heavier but eat better and I feel better. I feel like garbage right now, but I'm about 10 pounds lighter than what I usually do because I haven't been working out the way and eating the way that I'm used to, if that makes any sense at all. So
No,
the
it makes
number on
total
the
sense.
scale-
I want everybody that's watching to realize we are not talking about vanity here.
No,
We're talking about feeling good, something that you're doing to help you feel better. Not so much looks. We're talking about feeling healthy, feeling energetic, not lethargic, feeling good. And food has so much to play in that.
it's amazing how much food, and we said it before, sleep. Everybody needs different sleep as well. But the food, yeah, and everybody, all three of us, we all live different lives. We're all different, age groups, male, female. We all live a different daily life, so our bodies need something different. And that's not to say what Nancy does is right for me or what I do is right for you. I feel good at more or less once I get out of this holiday thing and get back to a habit.
Yeah.
I feel good at 235, 240. But then the flip side of it, you want this 185. Once you get there, you might not feel the best. Maybe you want to be 190 because you feel a
Feel
little
better. Yeah,
energetic.
yeah. I do.
Yeah.
I understand. I know. Yes, I do know what you're saying. I know that when I'm below that, my knees don't hurt. My back doesn't hurt.
Yes.
I can dance easier. I can sing easy. You know,
Yeah.
I'm quick to get up out of a chair. I can get out of a chair quick without saying, oh.
Mhm.
Nance, is
Yeah.
there anything, because I would like you to do a recap for everybody watching on what you advise, for this new year, feeling better. I don't like to say new year, new you, and about how to go about finding the right diet plan, not taking these bandwagon things. But I want to make sure that we covered everything that you had wanted to cover off of the presentation.
One thing that I would like to say is what I do is I'm pretty good for 80 to 90% of the time. One thing that I practice is something that I call delayed gratification. And say like it's Monday and I happen to be grocery shopping and I see, I don't know, something stupid in the store, like a Three Musketeers bar or something.
Right.
I'm not going to run out and buy it. But I keep telling myself my cheat day is on Saturday. So if I really, really want this thing on Saturday, I'll buy it and I'll eat it. And I find that most of the time Saturday comes around, I've totally forgotten about whatever it is that I really, really had to have earlier in the week.
That's so good. That's excellent.
And my other tip is if it's not in the house, it's not in the mouth. If you can't eat it if you don't buy it.
Right.
Simple things. Make sure when you go to the grocery store, make sure I carry a water bottle with me when I go for the most part. And I make sure that I always go after I've had something to eat because nothing then is screaming, buy me, buy me, buy me. But when it comes to diet, think of it more as a meal plan and think of things that you like to eat and how you can incorporate them probably at a lower portion, or just substituting, like the wheat pasta for the regular pasta, green bananas instead of yellow bananas, because green bananas have less sugar in them. And you also have to be careful.
Wait, you're just saying not ripe bananas, or is there something called green bananas?
No, just the not ripe, the green ones. They have less sugar than the ripe bananas.
I always thought if you ate a not ripe banana, it would give you a bellyache.
No, that's fun. No.
Okay. Okay.
And
I always
have
thought you were just buying them just because they last longer.
no, just because they're less sugar. They're less sugar.
Okay, wait. So let's stop here because I like what you're saying. And you're young, you won't forget. Let's make this list. Number one list: never go to the grocery store hungry.
Never.
Number two, when you see that thing and you know you want it, the Three Musketeers bar, it's a cheat day thing. Don't buy it now and save it for the cheat day. Wait until the cheat day and then go buy it. Right?
Right.
So I like
Right.
those two. I like those two. Now, what was the next one? There was a third. Oh, water. Make sure you have water while you are shopping.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. And if it's not in the house, it's not in the mouth.
That was it. If it's not in the house, it's not in the mouth.
Yeah.
These are great. This is a great diet right here. Forget all the other diets. We're doing it right now. Go ahead. Next.
Yeah. Green bananas have less sugar than ripe bananas. The wheat pasta and the red skin potatoes are going to have less of a glycemic hit to you than the whites. Just little things like that. You can really cut back on cheese. You can really learn to adjust recipes. You don't have to give it all up. You still want to get the taste, but you don't necessarily need everything else that goes along with it. One thing what was it? I just totally lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
Wait.
But I'm going to help you. You look for that. And the other thing that I want to say to everybody is serving size. Eat what it is. If you see it, you like it, and you want to have it. But look at the serving size, because that suggested serving size is really what you should eat of that.
The other thing, that's exactly this leads actually into serving size. Learn to read labels. A lot of times, if you look at a label and it says fat-free, a lot of times what they've done is they've taken out the fat, but they've increased the sugar content. So it jacks the sugar content up, which jacks your carbs up. So you really have to learn to read labels if it says fat free or sugar free or low carb, and just to see, what they've done nutritionally. I mean, because you'll find, like with salad dressing and things like that, ice creams too, you just learn to read labels.
So you're better off eating the regular dressing than eating the fat free.
You are, and instead of pouring it on, just get a fork and like sprinkle it on or something.
Do your portion size.
Healthy
So
portion.
in other words, and I've been saying this, you either change the habit of the way you eat to modify what you're eating, or you have to go on like a crazy ass diet. Like that's it. Just eat normal, but do your portion sizes.
Right. If you ever see Nutrisystem, they show you these big, these plates of pasta and this big pizza and everything. But if you ever see Nutrisystem in real life, the serving size is like this big.
Yes.
It
is.
You end up eating the entire meal, all your day's portion at one meal. So, but it makes a difference. Serving size makes a difference.
So I think this is a good list.
You've been to Greece, I've been in Greece up just because I love the Mediterranean food. But you go to a restaurant in Greece and you order something. What's the plate look like? You see most of the plate versus most of the food.
Right. Because it's a portion size.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so many people go out at restaurants and they're like, well, I don't like to go there because they don't give you enough food. Well, they're giving you that's the amount of food you should eat. You shouldn't, and when you get that big portion, this is a big one, I believe. When you go to a restaurant, ask for the to-go container when they bring your meal.
Yeah.
And right away, put everything in the kingdom, right then and there. So now that's going home for tomorrow, and this is what I'm eating right now. Mm-hmm. And I think that is huge in dieting, because then you can still go to the restaurant, you can still enjoy the company, because face it, especially this time of year, all social aspects revolve around eating.
Food. Yep. Food and drink. One thing I will say, people don't realize they're going on a cruise. They're like, oh my God, I can't do that. They automatically think of buffets. If you go to the dining room on the cruise, especially for dinner, they serve you portion sizes. You will get the 4 ounces of meat. You will get the quarter cup to like 1/3 a cup of the starch. You will get the exact portion of the vegetable. And the dessert is this nice, tiny little 2 fork size. Yeah. I mean, it's perfect. And everyone's like, what is this? But it's, the dining room serves portion sizes. It's great.
Oh, people are, I paid all this money for the cruise. I'm not getting my money's worth. I need to eat 6 of these, like.
Yeah, and their plates are.
No.
Yeah. In moderation. Moderation.
That's.
Yeah, that's it.
That is it. Oh, this is great. Is there anything else you want? Any other advice for everybody?
No, I think that's pretty much it about trying, don't beat yourself up. If you fall off, the next day is a new day, and it's another day to start over.
Come back on that horse.
Yeah. Just get back up. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the end of the world if you cheat.
No.
No.
You need that just to feel human. And sometimes you have bad days and you do want something just to make you feel a little bit better.
Right. And you want the diet to be
fun.
Fun. Like, yes. You want the diet to be a normal thing. You don't want to be on a diet. I don't want to be on a diet unless I have a condition where I have to be on this diet. Right. That's a different story.
I mean, you don't have to feel like you're forced or you're in jail. You're not allowed to eat anything that's good. I mean, I said I'll joke a lot, with Nance, but I mean, she makes good food, good portions. Granted, I'm bigger than her, so I'm going to eat more than her, sometimes too much. But I mean, but it's still good food. It's not like a box of Cheez-Its.
It's very good, and and I think a lot of it comes back to what we said in the other segment is you have to be happy with your body. You
Yeah.
cannot
Yeah.
spend your life trying to change your body because of some image that you think you should have. And
Right.
eat for your body,
Right.
right? Don't don't have an unrealistic expectation. Not that anybody can't achieve what they want to achieve, but know your reasons for wanting to achieve it too. You
And
know,
it has your reason.
excuse me?
It has to be your reason, not somebody else's reasons. It has to be your reason for wanting to change and what
And
you want.
even more than that, what is the reason that you want that change? Is that change, is your body image really what you're unhappy with? Because once you get that body that you want, is that going to bring you that happiness?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that really truly, is it the body image that you're unhappy with?
Right.
You know, I don't know. Mike, what do you think?
I think for some people, they assume that if they, have the six pack or have the chest or the legs or the body, that they're going to feel better about themselves. And they may perceive themselves as happier, but I mean, there's a lot more to it versus, starving yourself to get to that point.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you're, you know, how do you just say to somebody, don't let the fact that you have skinny legs make you unhappy? You know what I mean? Or your thighs in a woman. Don't let that make you unhappy. Are you kidding me? There's a Julia Roberts movie where the girl's eating pizza and she's like, I have a muffin top, I guess. The muffin top, is that it? And
Mhm.
Julia Roberts is like chowing down on this pizza. And she's like, listen, has a man ever thrown you out of like bed or out of the room when you turned the light, when you got undressed? And she's like, no. She goes, exactly. They've hit the lottery. Like you're uh, putting that on yourself. You look at yourself like that. No one else is looking at you like that.
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah, but
No.
there's a lot of that society and the movie stars and the perfect image, uh,
Yeah.
and that's rarely obtained and unnecessary for happiness.
Yeah.
Well, truly.
You know, the whole thing with, how you're eating it, you have to hold yourself accountable. I mean, whether you write down everything that you eat so you can see it on paper, or you do My Fitness Pal or something or other.
I memorize everything.
Huh?
I said I memorize everything I eat.
Yeah. Okay. But no, there has to be some measure of accountability built into this. But I look at girls at the gym and do I wish I had their body? Sure. But then I'm thinking, are they going to be here in 40 years? Are they still going to be doing this? And it's like, I don't know. But I've accepted I'm not going to look like that, but that's okay.
Yeah, you have to accept who you are.
Yeah. I mean, I still get a lot of nice comments, so but
I always say I wish, there's such an emphasis of looks.
oh, it is.
And even and I think I wrote it in the book. I wish you could look at people when you're picking a spouse instead of going for looks. 'Cause so many people go for looks and then they end up picking the wrong person. Totally, right? Because they went for looks. We can only see people for the way they'll make you feel.
Yeah.
Right? If I could look at somebody and not see but see the way they'll make me feel to be with me and for me to be with them. That's the way to pick a partner.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Not out of looks. But so many people are like, I want a girl with that body. I want a blonde. I want this. I want, they have this idea of, look at her, look at how, stacked she is, like
You could thank the Kardashians for that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, right. But they make you
here-
feel like shit. Like they make
yeah,
you feel bad about yourself. Well, yeah. So you're walking in a room with her, but she makes you feel like you're an idiot.
yeah. Or she opens her mouth and she proves that she's an idiot.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
right, right.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I think the same thing when it comes to body image. You gotta. I don't know. I think you have to feel good about yourself, and I don't want to get off track because we're getting off track. Be accountable for your diet and diet, not so much for your appearance to others, what others are going to think about you, but diet for what you feel about you.
Right. Right. To make you feel good. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not new year, new you is not so other people look at you. It's you.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
challenge yourself once in a while and be happy.
Huh?
You got to challenge yourself and be happy with yourself in order to be happy with anybody else.
Right.
Absolutely.
A question, and I don't know, Mike, so much. I don't think it's guys, but it's women. I know a lot. Do you cringe when you look in the mirror? Like that?
Not,
We showed this Emma Thompson thing where she was going to be in a theater show or a movie. I'm sorry, it was a movie where she was going to be fully naked, and they were asking her about it and how she prepared for that, and she said that to be comfortable with that, and she says she looked in the mirror and it was she says instead of looking in the mirror thinking God this is just wrong this image is just wrong, she started to the director made her analyze every part of her body, like
oh
there's
my,
a scar here, this is here, this is there. So then by the end of the exercise she was able to look at her body with a comfort.
mm-hmm.
Do you obsess in the mirror? I think
No.
everybody does. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
That's one of the reasons people don't go to the gym. I mean, I'm fairly comfortable looking in the mirror, but that's one of the reasons people don't, especially women, and probably guys too, is because it's one of the reasons they don't go to the gym because they think, oh my God, there are going to be all these body beautifuls there. And when in reality, are there going to be people better looking than you or better or in better shape than you there? Sure. Are there
Absolutely.
in worse shape and in worse condition than you? Oh, heck yeah. And as long as I mean, I'm fine looking in the mirror. Every now and then it's like, oh, but for the most part, no, I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah. I always say there's always going to be somebody better looking, always going to be somebody not as good looking, right? So
Oh, yeah,
you cannot compare yourself to others.
you
But
can't.
Shannon, and she won't get mad at me for saying this, she always says she wishes she can go to a gym where there are no mirrors. Because she's like, in my mind, I want to have the image of what I want without looking in the mirror and do the workout. I would go more often if I didn't have to look in the mirror. And the walk run lift studio that I go to,
Oh,
they
yeah.
have a techno gym. It's called Techno Gym. And when you go there and work out, you're not working out in front of a mirror at all. The trainer is helping you, making sure your form is good, so your body awareness is there, but there's no mirrors. It's a really great workout. When I get back to Pittsburgh, I'm going to get you guys. You're going. You're going to go.
Cool.
The workouts are up on a video wall. You've seen that video wall, and you're doing the workout, and you're watching the wall. You're not watching yourself. The trainer is making sure your framework and your form is good.
You're talking
Huh?
You're talking about the place down in Strip District?
Yep.
Yeah.
So remember how where we're sitting, the mirrors behind us? Everything is done towards that video wall now.
Right.
And
Oh, okay.
It is a workout like you've never done. You've never done. Two trainers are on the floor while you're doing the workout, and they're watching your form, and they're helping you. So now you're getting better body awareness because you're actually feeling where your arm should be. It's not just in the mirror, you're feeling it. and mentally you're solidifying it better than visually seeing it because you're using your feeling to do it. It's such a good workout.
Okay.
That sounds
This is way off track. Anyway, everybody, this is the Happiness from Within tour with Mike P and Uncle B. And today we had a special guest, Nancy. Thank you so much.
Oh, sure.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you, Billy. It's great seeing you again.
Yeah, I hope this cleared everybody's conceptions of what kind of diets to do. And I'm going to make it real fast. I know it's been a long segment, I know, but it's been so informative. But Nancy, one more time, I want you to give 5 key points to how to find the diet that is right for you. First of all, if anybody can do the DNA test, do that, and there's a link for that. But go. 5 good points.
5 good points. If it's not in the house, it's not in your mouth. So don't buy it. That way you can't eat it. Drink lots of water. A lot of times hunger will be confused with dehydration. So make sure you stay up on your water. Don't beat yourself up. Try starting just at like very small changes and build on that. Like maybe 50%, try and stick with it about 50% for the first week or two, and then just gradually build up to that till you do 80%. If you can do 80% of the time, 7 days a week, that's utterly fantastic. Never go to the grocery store when you're absolutely starving. And another good hint with that is stick to the outside of the store, stick to the perimeter, because that's where all the good, healthy food is. All the junk and everything is in the center of the food. Make sure you understand and learn to read labels. They can be kind of confusing, but once you learn to understand and read labels, it will really help you in your diet. Nothing has to be restricted. A lot of this is moderation, watching portion sizes, and just be totally aware of what you are putting in your mouth. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. You did not get into this condition, just over Christmas, over the past 6 weeks. This has been going on for the past, X number of years. Give yourself time. Don't beat yourself up. If you have a bad day and something happens in life, because unfortunately life does happen, when you go out and eat the whole pizza, hey, been there, but the next day you just hop right on and, don't beat yourself up. Give yourself credit, reward yourself. If you say, you don't start out saying, I want to lose 50 pounds. You find a diet that works for you and you take little small victories. If you lose 5 pounds, 10 pounds, you go out and buy yourself that new outfit, or you buy a pair of shoes, or you get your nails done, do whatever. Keep yourself motivated. Keep yourself motivated, hold yourself accountable. And if you're trying something for several weeks and it just doesn't seem like it's working, switch it up a little bit and see what happens.
All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this segment of the Happiness from Within tour with Mike P and Uncle B. And that's it. It's a wrap. See ya.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your happiness